So, the Kansas City Chiefs just got embarrassed on national television. Over 126 million people watched what might go down as the most humiliating loss of the Patrick Mahomes era. What the hell happened? That's what we're breaking down in today's video. I'll walk you through exactly where things went wrong, and believe it or not, why Chiefs Kingdom still has reason to be hopeful, despite the disaster we just witnessed. But first, how about those? Actually, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm cracking open a garage beer just to cope, because last night was a disaster and I barely slept. Funny enough, in Friday's video I said the Chiefs were going to shock the world in Super Bowl 59. Well, they sure did. Just not in the way any of us expected. Mahomes had his legacy on the line, and yeah, the Eagles looked better on paper across most position groups, but I believed in Mahomes and Andy Reid to rise when the lights were brightest. Boy, was I wrong. And don't worry, I'm not going to rehash every second of that bloodbath. The Eagles dominated from start to finish. Respect to Philly, they earned the bragging rights. No excuses. No blaming the refs. That was a straight-up beatdown. Where did it all go wrong? I laid out 4 things the Chiefs needed to do to win. Start fast. Win the turnover battle. Score 30-plus points. Limit Saquon Barkley. Check, 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 and check. Not. Chiefs fell behind early. Lost the turnover battle. Scored 22 points, most in garbage time. Barkley had just 57 yards, so that part was actually solid. But the real problem? Jalen Hurts absolutely cooked us with his legs. He led the Eagles with 72 rushing yards, including a brotherly shove TD. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' RBs had 7 carries for a whopping 24 yards. Reid said the game script took the run away early, but what about those first 3 drives when it was still close? 9 pass plays to just 1 run. Come on. After going down 10-0, the Chiefs imploded. Mahomes got sacked on back-to-back plays. Then forced a desperation throw that turned into a pick-six. Suddenly it's 17-0, and we're in full-on panic mode. The offense never recovered. The Eagles didn't even have to blitz. Their front 4 generated 16 pressures and 6 sacks, the most Mahomes has taken in his entire career. Let that sink in. The Eagles were bottom 5 in pressures this season. They looked like the '85 Bears against our O-line. Joe Thuney was credited with 7 pressures. Trey Smith had 3. Jawan Taylor and Mike Caliendo gave up a couple each. Caliendo, in particular, was brutal, missing blocks, whiffing assignments. It was hard to watch. The offensive line collapsed. Period. And that's why Mahomes looked so off. He had no time, no rhythm, and no help. He even missed some open reads, something we almost never see from him. The pressure completely threw him out of sync. Defense. Some bright spots. But still flawed. The defense wasn't all bad. They held Saquon in check. Forced a turnover on downs. Brian Cook had a sweet INT off a perfectly timed blitz. But they also had some killer penalties. Trent McDuffie's early unnecessary roughness extended a drive that led to an Eagles TD. Charles Omenihu's offsides turned a sack into a first down. Nick Bolton's late hit on Barkley gifted Philly another fresh set of downs. None of those single plays lost the game, but they added up. And can we talk about A.J. Brown getting matched up against Nick Bolton in coverage? What was that? That's a matchup nightmare. The Hurts deep ball to Devonta Smith, 46-yard TD, was the dagger. It made it 34-0 in the third quarter. Absolute demolition. Garbage time stats and small silver linings. Xavier Worthy was a bright spot in an otherwise dark, depressing game. He caught all 8 of his targets for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of the best rookie Super Bowl performances ever, even if it all came in garbage time. There's your silver lining. Xavier Worthy is for real. And pairing him with Rashee Rice next year? That's going to be dangerous. But that's about all the good news I can give you. Oh, and Chris Jones, he left with a knee injury in the third quarter. Limped off. Didn't return. That's something we'll need to monitor all off-season. What now? So where do the Chiefs go from here? Well, many fans are calling for Matt Nagy to be fired as OC. But let's be real, Andy Reid calls the plays. Nagy just relays them. Firing him won't fix the bigger issue. The offense needs to evolve. And the O-line needs serious upgrades. 4 different left tackles started this season. None of them locked it down. That cannot happen again next year. The Chiefs were completely outcoached, outplayed, and out-executed. On the biggest stage, they didn't show up. Simple as that. Still a dynasty. This still is, and continues to be, one of the greatest runs in NFL history. 7 straight AFC Championship appearances. 5 Super Bowl trips in 6 years. 3 rings. Mahomes still under 30. Reid, Spags, and the core still intact. Yeah, this loss sucked. But let's not lose sight of what we've witnessed. Chiefs Kingdom is living through a dynasty, and it's far from over. Once the sting wears off, let's appreciate how rare this is. Let me know your thoughts below, on the game, on the season, and where we go from here. Until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those Chiefs?